Well, it's another Hattons mail call as well, but if you've just seen the cutscene with the photographs, you will have seen this in a bit of a state. Now I have managed to put most of it back together again. There is supposed to be a joining bar between the two, but I don't know whether you need it all of the time for the supports there to sit on those. But there should be a mounting lug each end to attach the bogie, so obviously your train doesn't pull away. But that bit was snapped off, and I can't find any part of that in the box, so I think that was already done and was neglected on the very brief description that came with it. So I messaged the seller and we got half the money back. I said I could probably repair it, which I seem to have done so far, as long as they don't start ripping off, because the NEM socket coupling, which sort of, this looks older, this style of packaging, but to have a NEM pocket seems a bit odd. It's Lily put, which is obviously part of the Bachmann group, but it does have an NEM pocket, which I wouldn't have expected with its age, but which is good news, because that means I can obviously change it and run it on the double O gauge. But that clips in, and all of your towing strength is down to the two little lugs there, so I might give it a little bit of contact adhesive if it proves a problem. On obviously the same issue that end with the weight of the rest of the train, but it was quite unusual, which is what appealed to me. Excuse me. And I've been looking at it for a long while, and he dropped it down to 35, 30, 25, and he sent me an offer, and I came back with £20, which he accepted, because I didn't sort of see the value of it being any greater than that, even less so when it turns up damaged. Really done no work, none of the detailing parts that go around the control cab, brake cabs, wheels, difficult to tell really. Yeah, wasn't a great scene when you pull it out of the box, but the guy did give me half my money back, so it's now a £10 wagon, which is a little bit of a easier pill to swallow, and hopefully I can file that down, because this tube is actually metal and the little supports appear to be plastic, I think, hard plastic. So I think I'm going to have to file that down and see if I can drill a hole through the plastic, and then just use a little bit of maybe plastic tubing or something, just to make a pin so that it will lock into the hole in the bogie track, and hopefully that will make it usable. I got a pack of these turned up from China, little ceiling lamps with the old school style enamel lampshade. They got the SMD flat LED lamps in them, 10 of them complete with resistors, so obviously if you've got an engine shed or workshop, you can sort of simulate the old 60 watt bulbs, 100 watt bulbs hanging down off the ceiling lamps. They should be warm white, that's the ones I asked for, so they give you a little bit more characterful light. So this is the wagon on Hattons Marketplace, which is the Lima number. If we scroll down to the page details, that's the item number, the SKU, which P007 is their number for their stock. See the scratch there, quite a distinctive scratch. Now if we go to here, oh look, P007. Oh, so they're still selling something that I've already bought, and that turn up. So as you can see, that distinctive scratch is definitely the one I'm holding in my hand. So quite how they're going to sell the wagon they don't actually have anymore, I don't know. It's at £11.24 at the minute, with 4 hours remain, and the way the people are bidding on that particular site, they're not going to get a bargain, because I paid 12 quid for it, and I bought another one that was 12 quid, and that was the only pair they had advertised. So where the third one's come from, I don't know. They may not have had it, they may have cocked up and just put the wrong details on, but I don't particularly want to pay more than £12 for another one. What one had the code 006? Yeah, that one. So again, scratches. Well, a bit of the weathering's come off of the. That's their description. Scratches do bodywork or paintwork, which is basically someone's weathered them and then hasn't sealed it with a varnish. So every time you handle it or store it against another model, you lose a bit of paint. So they'll need doing again. But yeah, sometimes it pays to buy it now as opposed to wait for an auction. I will update you as to what it goes for, because obviously the rest of this won't be filmed within that time frame. I pushed myself on this one a little bit with the auction. This cost me £15, which is about what I've paid for some of the cargo wagon vehicles that are similar from Rocco and Jouf. This one's got KD style knuckle couplings. There is a set of the closed couplings in the box should you want to change them, so it's a newer one with NEM pockets. I just had to check it because the little pack, information pack with the couplings, also shows different sets of wheels. So obviously if you're running Michelin AC, you want uninsulated wheel. But this is the insulated DCC wheels, or DC friendly. A little bit more detail on it than the earlier versions, but not a huge amount, a little bit more weighty. But I think this is actually sort of Dutch, or sort of close. I don't know whether the little camera will bring it up. It's Antwerp. NV is obviously like their equivalent to limited company in the Netherlands, isn't it? But it's quite nicely detailed. £15. I thought, well, I would rather, didn't really want to pay that, but I just went one more to get the bid in and won it. Hattons have still got another 3 on. One's got the couplings missing, and they're asking £34 for each one. Now, I've got a couple of these. These are the Wolfers Modular Roof Details packs, which you can see there. You can do various air conditioning units and water vents and things. I think they're £15 on Gauge Masters. I got them for £5. I think there's still some on there if you're quick. And a couple of buildings, not huge for the money, but they are, as Digger will tell you, design preservation models. They're not easy to get hold of over here, if at all. I don't think anyone actually sells them. I think that was £20 for the bar, £17 for the townhouse. Quite a bit of weight in them, despite being a smallish kit. But they're a good find, as it were, for my little American township diorama that will be on the low level. So it was a case of I did find another site, as I said, but they're not importing any more stuff. They are winding down, so they're not buying anything else in from the States, unfortunately. So last but not least is this kit, which cost me 25 English pounds. There is one on ebay.com for $26. I don't think the kit's made anymore. I'm not sure whether Model Expo Inc. are now just Model Expo, and they don't do any railway stuff at all, if that's the same company. I thought the box, looking at the box, it was going to be an older style kit than it actually is, but as you can see, it's silkscreen printed interior curtains, cast metal, the body supplied by River Rossi. So it's got a proper HO coach body to turn it into a little static diner with the kitchen out the back with all the decals and everything. So it's a nice, I was looking for sort of like one of the aluminium ones that look a bit like an Airstream, but this was sort of like another one. This came up first sort of thing, so we can have our 50s style diner, or even probably older than that, but you know, it lived on as a retro diner, so we can do our little scene with maybe a weekend. People are turning up for a coffee and burger and displaying their classic American muscle cars maybe. Well, I should have read this description better. I was sure these were bloody longer than that, but I got these, knocked it down. They were £5 instead of about £8. I mean, this is a joke. I mean, that's a big pen. I wouldn't have bought them if I'd have realised they were that small. I did read the description, but somewhere along the line I've misinterpreted something. Because I thought, oh, I'll get these and compare them to those ones I buy from China. You know, the ones that are a foot and a half long and you get 4 for 11 quid. And yeah, building a model would be very expensive if you're doing it out of full retail plastruct. Now I have bought some various bits, I don't know whether it's plastruct or evergreen, it might be a combination of both, from a company that's closing down. They're doing stuff about half price. Now I've had a delay with their order because their printer's not working, and I was getting a little bit worried as to, you know, history repeating itself with the cans modelling incident. But they did phone me, so yeah, my fears are allayed for a little while longer. But I'll probably cover that in another video when they arrive next week, hopefully. So yeah, got that. Not impressed, but they are. Never mind, but I could have saved myself a £5. And still sealed in the pack. Got that at auction as well. £27. A1 Tornado. So we picked up an 8-pin decoder. There was 2 listed. I missed one because I had the wrong bloody window open. This one would have been a bargain, but then someone, this ended at 2 o'clock in the morning and I was having a bidding war with someone. Seems a bit odd. The other one I missed and it went for a couple of £3. I had to fight a little, and I thought, well, I ain't going silly, you know, because you can buy a Lay's DCC one for just over a tenner. But I got that one for £7.50. So it was cheaper than one of theirs, so, and guess who makes them? Yeah, you guessed it. Here's another little kit. It's a laser cut, sort of like a little house shack. They've got several of these still on the site. I can't remember what they are now. I paid £4.75 for this one on, I think I got this one on their auction. Well, they have got a few listed on their pre-owned. Not too bad, a little kit for a little building just to fill in a small area. But they have screwed up, because I bought this and it is advertised by Red Caboose Company 73-foot centre beam bulkhead flat car, the Bayline, pre-owned, boxed like new, HO scale 187. No, it's not 187 scale, is it? They had it listed in the 187 HO scale on their auction site. No mention of it being N scale. So, if any of you are N scale American, want to buy a little caboose, before I phone up Hattons and say, this is no bloody good to me, let me know. I reckon they got a bloody YTS kid on the Hattons auction site. Not friggin' HO gauge, is it? I'm not about to start modelling N gauge US. I've got plenty of English to be trying to tackle with without adding American to it. So that's two bloody wagons that have been listed as HO and are in fact N-gauge. Another pack of pylons. I'd sort of got these bid on before I picked up the other ones from Al. So I've ended up with 3 boxes now, so I should have plenty of pylons to litter my countryside. Although these are a sort of an earlier design, the sort of more modern ones are taller. The Walthers ones look a bit more English than these old ones do, but smaller areas, I don't know, they've probably been replaced now, but some of the areas used to have these shorter ones, so I'm not too overly worried about it. For £5.24 versus nearly 30 quid for a pair of Walthers ones is good enough for me. Well, it was too good to miss up. Another £7, well, £7.50 I think this one was. Concept iron ore to go with my ever increasing collection of these. Another PGA. The brake wheels are in this one, they've never been fitted, the detailing never been put on it, although the box has got signs has been opened several times, so looks like we're missing couplings. But as new as it may look, that's been, I don't know, bodged together. Doesn't look to be a very deep recess in there for the wheels to run. I just thought it looked a bit odd because they were splayed out quite badly, and I get a bit of heat in them, they'll stay like that. Wheels wouldn't turn because their axles are too wide to sit in them, and they're not Lima wheels, they're 10.9. Lima wheels are all 11.5, but they do not fit that, and the couplings were not advertised as being missing either, so naughty one for Hattons. They are getting very hit and miss with whoever decides to price what and describe what. And another little acquisition was another Lima ballast wagon. All the bits are there, quite weighty. I think they've overdone the gluing the ballast in. There's a fair bit of weight there, but hopefully it will keep it on the track. And that's quite a clean example. I paid £14 for this, which is about well, £14–17 is the most I've paid for these, but they regularly go for a lot more than that on eBay, which is why I never buy any on eBay. Well, a few hours later, and I come up with a solution to the broken pin. I just filed it flat with a normal nail file, and then I've got some very small track type fixing screws. So I filed it flat, screwed one of those into it carefully. Took a bit of doing, it was starting to dig the plastic out rather than bite into it, but it did catch in the end. I just got it through into the plastic ends are, well, the ends are plastic, that bit's a metal tube with just a covering over it. And then to bulk it up, I cut a piece of heat shrink, melted it down and shrank it on, and then put another piece over the top, and it does fit. If I can eye it up with one hand, we'll just get it set up. Well, here we are. Now, quite how well that's going to negotiate corners, I don't know. Could be interesting. I bet it will be fairly finicky. It's going to find any issues with the track. The only thing I don't like is that bit of unrealistic wobble. That would, if you were sitting in the brake house, you'd be rather concerned if it was doing that in real world. Don't know what we can do about that. Maybe a bit of foam or something. Act as a damper. I doubt if it will be seeing many outings, but seems to run okay. You can feel the sort of weight of the tube giving it a little bit of ballast. Went on the track fairly easy. The little coupling link on that one did come apart again, so I might have to bend a piece of wire and make those. There is another one to join the two together there in the detail pack, so they all interlock. But at least we got it back up and run operational.